Good morning, guys. This is, well, I'm not in my shop, as you can see. This would be part 4 of the project house. And before I get into the main kitchen and stuff like that, I know, don't touch your face. The homeowner wants to move a bunch of stuff and rearrange and just accommodate, so that way they're a little bit more comfortable in their surroundings, because now I start becoming invasive to the house. So with the upstairs, it was kind of like close the door and look away, and that was it. But now I'm in your face. So they're gonna make themselves a little more comfortable. So in the meantime, we are going to look at a little project. It's nothing huge, but I'm hoping that I can take care of it. That's why I have opted to pouch up today. So we're gonna hit, and hopefully, I'm not sure what this is gonna look like, but we are going to take this deck apart. Just this section of the deck. We're not gonna tackle anything back there. That is, if that comes down, then a fence has to go up. So that's gonna stay for now, just to keep the dog in. This is what the deck looks like right now. She just wants something similar. Not 2x4s, but it's gonna look a lot better than this. So I'm gonna take this apart and find out what is going on in there. So this is basically rip the boards up, see if the framing's good. If the framing's good, put a skirt, put the new boards on, be done. It's not a huge project. It's something simple. It gets me out of the house a little bit, so it's a little different, change of pace. I don't have to be quiet. I have my tunes, my coffee. Well, not my coffee, my tea. So yeah, I'm gonna show you what it looks like after I rip the boards off, and we'll kind of go from there. So I'm gonna get started. So after a little bit of investigating demo, I have my conclusion. The only thing I'm using off the original deck is going to be the ledger board. This seems to be in decent shape. Some of the 2x8s that crossed. Oh, this is the funny part right here. What you have is 3 2x4s nailed together and stuck in the ground. And there's 4 of them. So we are not going to reuse these. Ooh. I'm going to get some poles, I'm going to cut them, I'm going to suck them into the ground with some concrete. I'm only going to use 3. And since the deck came out to here, that's where the poles are going to end up. Because I'm putting 2x8 spans, and it's only an 8-foot span, so I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about deflection. Worst case, if I do find something, I'll sink a pole in the center and tie it all in, but I don't think I'm going to find that. So that's what's going on with the deck. Hopefully, yeah, next one's gonna be like finished product or maybe framing, or I don't know. So yeah, funny how people build decks sometimes. Now mind you, this deck is 30 some odd years old, so maybe that's all they had on hand. It was a financial thing. I have no idea, but we're gonna fix it. So this is what the framing is looking like for the deck. The only thing that's missing is the stair. That's coming after. Couple notes: if you build, make sure that your pole is underneath your framing, so that way if it does move in the ground, it won't pop your boards, it'll just move the whole deck. The reason why I put this in here is because my boards, which are running this way, are going to butt right here, and then I'm going to put a trim piece all the way around. And then not everyone does blocking in between all their studs, but I do. And I also lag mine up. So lag there, there's lag on all the poles. There's 3 poles in the ground. 1, 2, and then 1 right here. They're doubled there, they're doubled at the ends. The ledger board's pretty good. And then blocking, she's solid. She's dang solid. So I'll show you what it looks like. So this is what the end result looks like. Got skirting all the way around it. I like doing this, putting a little trim piece all the way around, kind of completes it. You don't have end grain to the weather. The step is just a box that I built, and that's pretty much what the deck looks like. Now I go inside and play with the kitchen. So let's go. Welcome to the kitchen reno. This is when the fun is going to begin. So this is basic layout of what the kitchen's going to look like. And I've also mapped it out on the floor. Some of this is going to change. So where this is, it's a little bit too close to the beam. So I'm going to have to move it over like 3 or 4 inches. But pantry, fridge, cupboards, stove, more cupboards. Gonna be like a country sink here, and then dishwasher. So this is the peninsula. This wall is going bye-bye. This little opening is going bye-bye. I'm gonna close it in. That's this, and a few other things are gonna be the first thing I do to minimize dust. Also, I brought in, I don't know if you can see it right there. It's what's called an air scrubber. So use one of those in my restoration days, and it sucks up a lot of dust. So another added thing to keep the dust down. This opening right here, I'm going to put a bunch of 6mm up, and then on top of it, this is going to be the only access. I'm going to put in the zipper. So you just zip it and you open it up. On this side, so this pantry, I'm going to unhook it. I got to make a back for it, and then I'm going to stick it right here, so that way they can still have a pantry. This little, whatever you want to call it, that's going to get taken off, and I'm just going to set it on top of here, so that way it's not, things aren't going to be displaced as bad. Like this is, I'm going to be pretty invasive now, so I have to try to minimize that as much as possible. So the next plan of this is, once I have this pantry gone, I'm going to build a wall that stretches the entire length right to this wall, that wall right there, and then I'm going to 6mm it. So that way, again, minimizes the dust. I can take out that wall and not have to worry about everything else, well, as long as the plastic stays intact. So that's going to be the starting of it. Once that's built, I'm going to build this opening. I'm going to frame it up. I'm going to drive all the other side, so that way that is done and I don't have to invade on that. What else is going to move? Okay, so right here, that vent is not very effective. It's going to be taken out. It used to power the master. So that's going to get taken out. It's going to get moved. And then this one's going to get moved because it's in a cabinet right now. I haven't decided on how I'm going to move it yet. So once I get everything plasticed up, it's going to be demo time. So it's going to be lots of demo to try to figure out what's going on. Okay, why am I getting shadows? There we go. So yeah, it's a lot of demo. There's a beam that I need to figure out. There's some asbestos that I need to take care of. There's openings I need to open. There's walls I need to take out. There's a bunch of stuff I need to do. So we're gonna head out. I'll do all that. I'm gonna give you an update and show you what it looks like after the demo. But this gives you what's going on in this house. Big project, so let's get started. So demo is pretty close to finishing. As you can see behind me, we've got some bare walls. We've got some Back to original sheeting floors. Yeah. So this is what I found, and I knew I was coming across this. And this is from the master bedroom. This is the supply for the master bedroom, and it's all wrapped in asbestos. That has to come out. The wires I had to take out of studs and reconnect, and that's why you see morettes. This is knob and tube wiring that is going to get replaced. And then I came across another one that's going to get taken out. That is slated for today. So I built a nice little structure to keep the dust to a minimum. This is getting enclosed anyways, so this is going to stay permanent. This is not. And then I built a little vapor wall, you can say, and it's helped keep the dust to a minimum outside of this. Inside of this, well, that's why I have the Predator. So one of the major concerns I have is this makeshift 2x6 beam, which, as you can see, I don't know if you can see it on camera, the floor above is sagging. So that's why we had such issues around the doors for leveling out the floor, is because of that beam. But it doesn't stop there, because down here, now this is going to be a lot harder to see on camera. I'm going to try, but this floor big time comes down right here. And one of the reasons is this is a load-bearing wall for the second floor. The joists stop and start on either side of this beam, and there's nothing underneath this wall. So that's why it sank. Over time, it just kind of sank down. So what I'm going to end up doing is right where this wall is going to start, in the basement, I'm going to put a jack and try to bring it back up. So I'm gonna tie all the joists together. I'm gonna put the jack underneath. I'm gonna try to bring it back up. Not sure exactly what is going on here as far as shrinking and making bigger or whatnot. Not sure yet. I know that whatever size it's going to be, this beam is going to become an LVL, and it's going to get framed accordingly, because no, I'm not messing around with it. These freaking little 2x6s are just nothing. So today is the asbestos company's coming to get removed. That's one thing I try not to mess with, is asbestos. So when I took it apart, I've masked up, and I took it apart as slowly and as to not disturb it, and get it taken out professionally because of my safety and of the safety of the homeowner. So if something happens, like say I took it out and I missed something or I disturbed it and there's dust, now that's going to go throughout the house. So better off just to get a company in here, pay the $700 to get it taken out, and be done. So the next part of my demo is going to be this floor. That's all got to come out. And in the basement, I got to put some 6mm down on the ceiling, so that way all the dust, because there's tons of little spots, opens and cracks and knots, and so currently her brother watches TV and plays games down there and stuff like that, so I'm going to put some plastic on the ceiling to keep the dust and the debris from coming down on them. And then once the asbestos is taken out, this wall is going to get moved this way, so I can take out that ceiling. The ceiling is going to come out, and part of this floor is going to come out, so I can put the new floor down and not have any issues. So I'm hoping I don't find anything special in this ceiling, but who knows. I will give you a complete rundown of everything that's going to happen when I come across it and we figure out everything. So Welcome to the demo disaster. I don't know, it's just weird. So I'm gonna give you a overview of what's happening. Demo is for the most part done, except for little ifs, ands, and buts. Like the cabinets back there, they're staying until this kitchen's in. So that way they have a functioning kitchen while I do this and not putting them out too bad. So I'll take a little swing around and show you what's what I found, anything fun and exciting. So let's go. So this is where the kitchen's gonna be. Now, I don't know if you can see it. I can't barely see it. On the floor are chalk lines for where the kitchen's gonna be. This was nothing special, it's just a couple layers of plaster, drywall, and spray and foam, or spray, not spray and foam, spray and insulation. This one you've already seen. That's gonna get covered up. That's where cabinets are going. That's no big deal. The wall is gone. The great big asbestos vent that was right there, it's capped off right there, is now gone. I had a company come in, take it all out. And this one fed upstairs, which is now gone. So this is now wide open. You come back here, look how wide that is. Now don't mind the walls that I built. These are temporary walls, this one and that one, to replace the beam that was once here. So the beam is now gone, and that's why you see some 9.5 by 12 LVL beams. I'm going to laminate all three of them together, and they are going to take the place of the old beam, which was useless. So yeah, we're going to do that right here. I'm leaving this in for right now until that one's done. This one's going to be a little easier. It's not as big a span. I'm only spanning 4 joists. So I'm just going to do triple 2x8s. So same thing. We're going to make this as small as I can. So here is going to be flush with the wall. And then here is going to be probably, I don't know, 6 inches out from the ductwork. Yeah, something like that. 6 inches out from the ductwork, and that's where the beam's gonna land. And it's gonna, originally it came out to, say, here. So we're gaining probably almost 18 inches on that wall. This one, I'm gonna do the same thing. It's probably gonna come out to right around here. So that means this stud's gone, this stud's gone. This one I'm just gonna push back. It's all going to be a 2x6 main wall. So all the 2x4s are coming out. 2x6 main wall with LVLs, and then this one's going to be 2x8s. In this room, nothing spectacular happened. I found a bunch of junk and crap from when they installed the current tub. Well, not current tub, because I did that tub. But I didn't do this plumbing. So mental note, you see all the cutouts on the top? If you're a plumber and you do this, hang up your skirts and don't do business again. Nothing drives me nuts than people being lazy and not putting proper holes and doing it slower. I get it. I totally get it. But do it the proper way. Now they're not structurally inapt, but they're not great either. They're not exactly 100% like they should be. So if you do that, hang up your license. Don't even bother going back to work anymore, because that is crappy practice. So let's continue. So now the countertop for this is going to roughly come out to here. So that's why I peeled back the floor a little bit more. So when everything is installed, I don't have to try to knit in a floor, where the floor would be already passed, and then once the kitchen's in, I take out this floor and do the same thing, just bring it all over. And that's the same thing you see over here with the old parquet floor. Now mind you, this is just going to be either a sitting room or a dining room, so nothing really special is going to happen in this. Same thing, I put in a wall to hold up the second floor. Wiring, we haven't finalized yet. I'm giving her ideas on what is going on with wiring, but as far as right now, we're just kind of shooting ideas around. So once I get to wiring, that's when the fun's gonna happen. But this is pretty much what's happening here. So right here, you can't see it on camera. It's gonna be hard, really hard. So downstairs, this area carried the load of the second floor. This area right here carried the load of the second floor. And it was one joist that was carrying that load. And there was nothing holding it up other than attached to the main beam that goes this way and the foundation on the other side. So there was no jack post here. There was nothing. So what I'm doing, actually I'm gonna take you downstairs. So now we're downstairs, and it's only probably 6 and change. Yeah, probably about, I don't know, anyways. It's a low ceiling. So what I started doing is I started putting double 2x8s together and trying to knit everything together. So right now there's no load on these because I took the beam out and I took everything else off of it. So I'm gonna bring it all together. I got a little pole right here to hold up the wall. I got a pole right there to hold up the other wall. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to sink a jack. I'm gonna put a jack, like say right here, right to the floor, and I'm gonna try to bring this up so I don't have to level the living crap out of this. Like, it's gonna be brutal to try to bring this all up. And I thought I'd do it without being connected to the second floor, because the second floor is already done. So if I bring that up and I bring the second floor up, I'm gonna have problems. So I don't want to bring the second floor up. So that's why I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna bring it up a little bit. If it's good, it's good, that's fine. And then I can put the beam in. So that's the plan here. There's more. There's a lot more coming. There's a ton of stuff that I'm doing with this. But right now I'm in framing mode. I want to try to get everything knitted up. So let's go back upstairs. So get me back in here. There we go. So that's pretty much where I'm sitting right now. Like I said, I have some knob and tube. I have wiring I gotta take care of. Like, we got some wires just hanging around. Homeowner knows. It's all knob and tube, it's live. I made a little light post. No big deal. So that's pretty much where it sits. I'm gonna continue framing. Tomorrow I'm gonna get the beam in place, which is going to be heavy. I think this is like 50 pounds per section, and I got 3 of them. So, and that's gonna be fun bringing it up 8 feet. But we'll figure it out. I'll get her done. So that's pretty much where it's sitting, and that's where I'm gonna leave it for now. I have other little stuff to play around framing wise, but we're gonna leave it like that. So like this video, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. I'm seeing people that watch the videos but they don't subscribe to the channel. Like, you like the videos, you watch the videos, subscribe. There's more. There's way more on this. This is the big one. So subscribe. So I'm hoping everyone's good, and I will talk to you next time.